Simon Keats from Origin Effects, and I'm here to demo the Revival Drive Hot Rod Edition. So we released the Revival Drive 2 years ago, maybe 18 months ago, and it delivered a really accurate plexi, kind of late 60s plexi or blackface Fender sound. You could basically configure it to sound like any non-master volume amplifier. Now this is the kind of, this pedal here, the Hot Rod Edition, represents what would have been the next chapter in amp evolution. So players in the kind of mid-70s, early to mid-70s, they would buy these classic Fender amps and they would get their techs to turn what would have been like a 2-channel amp into a 1-channel amp, and with the valve that they saved, they would wire that into the 1 channel so that they added extra gain. And so this pedal does the same thing essentially, and that's why it's hot rodded. So I guess before we would have had something like a Marshall Plexi, now we would be looking at something closer to like a very early JCM 800. And then on the Fender side, where we might have been looking at a Fender amplifier, we'd be looking at something that sounds a little more like a Boogie. So there we go. You can see that it's quite, many would say it could be an intimidating looking pedal with lots of controls, but essentially what you have is 2 channels, and they are the same. So you've got 2 channels, identical voicing. The only difference between them is that the one with the gold knobs is, or the orange knobs, has the sound of a valve rectified amplifier, and on the right hand side with the grey knobs, silicon rectified. There are some other functions such as mid boost and the ability to use a post amp EQ, a post drive EQ, to match the pedal to any amplifier that you might find yourself confronted with at a fly gig or something. So let's have a look. So that was a high gain setting. At the moment we're on the silicon channel. I've got the gain full, I've got the lows high up, I've got some presence dialed in there. And I've got the preamp switch, which has a US, an off position and a GB position, so we've got a GB position. So this is very much like the JCM 800. So you've got the presence gives you kind of chime. So yeah, lots of gain there, pretty good fun to play through. So let's switch to the valve side, and I've got it set up for something with a bit less gain, because just because it's a high gain pedal doesn't mean that you have to have it set like that. And we've got some great kind of on the edge of breakup tones in there too. So just to kind of skate over some of the other features, we can kick in a bit of mid boost if we want. And then back off. So it's kind of a subtle level of mid boost, but in a band setting that really would kind of propel you through the mix. We have got the ghosting control that the other Revival Drive also features. It's pretty hard to demo at something like NAMM, but because we're recording this, hopefully you'll be able to hear it when you watch the video. So let's kick the gain back on, and I'm just going to play some notes on the neck pickup quite high up the neck, and then you should hopefully hear like a kind of subharmonic coming through. So I can hear it on that one. And what that is in the classic old amplifiers, the mains frequency, like the the voltage feeding the amplifier would interact with the guitar signal as the amp's clipping, and it generates like these weird low frequency ghost notes. So something like a Marshall JTM 45 or an AC30 would do this a lot. And so like the hot rodded amp would also do it. So, and the funny thing is when you can dial it in or you can have it in there, but if you take it out, you kind of miss it. It just seems to fatten things up. So I've taken it out now. And then back in. So there you go. Without going into too much detail, that is the pedal in a nutshell. So thanks for watching.